Live the life you love and love the life you live. Well, a lot of people are living the life they love and are loving the life they live, and you can't tell them nothing until there are times that roll around that consequences have to be paid for the life they love to live. Jamaica News just informed us that 2 women were extradited out of Jamaica recently to face charges in the United States of America. And again, I must tell you about the long arms of the law in the United States of America. Some countries might let you get away with stuff. He ran away, she's gone, it is what it is. Not the US. They are coming to get you. I don't care if you in the bushes and the hills of this place that you ran to, they're coming for you. So first we did a video talking about one woman from Connecticut who was extradited back to the US to face murder charges. And now we must tell you about the second woman, all in details. Jamaica national charged with debt relief scam. Pardon me for butchering her name. Her name is Sarika Savariao, also known as Sarika Goodison. Let's go with Goodison, because I don't know how to pronounce the other word there. It's spelled Savariau, Savariao Goodison. She's 36 years old, of Jamaica. This information is Office of Public Affairs information. So it is coming straight from the government site, from the courthouse. All right, September 8th of 2023, the information was printed. 36 years old. She appeared in the U.S. federal courts today, and she was arraigned on 8-count indictment charging her with creating a series of fraudulent debt relief companies that tricked U.S. victims into paying fees and disclosing personal information, identifying information, sensitive information, and identifying identity documents to obtain debt relief, which did not actually exist. Why does this sound like PPP? You know, there was a woman trying to get me to get a PPP loan outright, and she was bragging about how I just tell them that I have a company with 10 employees. I don't even have a company, is what this lady said to me. And something said to me, SouFLo, don't do it. Because at the time, a lot of people were getting this PPP money, right? And I thought for a second, I have a link. This is my link. I could get it. I think the devil sent her to me. And I thank God that I did not fall for it. Anyways, let's talk about the woman being extradited out of Jamaica now to face these charges. The announcement was made by U.S. Attorney Matthew M. Graves for the District of Columbia and Assistant Inspector General for Investigations Sally Luttrell of the Treasury Department Office of Inspector General. Neither here nor there information. So, on December 2nd of 2021, a federal grand jury returned an 8-count sealed indictment charging this woman with 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, affecting a financial institution, scamming, 4 counts of wire fraud, affecting a financial institution, and 3 counts of aggravated identity theft. The indictment alleges that between 2016 and 2018, this is the paperwork from the courts, between 2016 and 2018, she conspired with others to profit from fees that were paid by victims of fraudulent debt relief companies. The indictment alleges that conspirators created and operated fraudulent businesses and websites that marketed and sold fraudulent debt relief services to members of the public. Conspirators fraudulently misrepresented that members of the public could apply for and obtain thousands of dollars worth of debt relief on their outstanding unpaid bills in the form of grants, all in exchange for payment of a service processing fee. In other words, you have debt, your debt's piled up, you have $10,000 worth of credit card debt or whatever you have to pay off, she can get you a grant of equal amount against those debt. Just pay me a small fee to do the processing work, and I can get you some money. And a grant is usually free money that you don't have to pay back. So you can use some of it to pay off your debt and pocket the rest. The public started running to her like, yes, that sounds good. I need to get rid of this debt. So needless to say, business was booming. Conspirators also claimed that the purported debt relief was funded and administered by the U.S. government. But it wasn't. So that's a lie. But this made people believe that it was legitimate because she advertised it as it was purported debt relief that was funded and administered by the U.S. government. Set up a whole business and everything. Now, through their false representations, her and her co-conspirators are alleged to have induced or attempted to induce victims throughout the United States to pay over $1 million worth of service processing fees directly to her and her co-conspirators through Western Union, MoneyGram, PayPal, and other payment mechanisms that the law was able to track. They said that she arrived in the DC metropolitan area on Thursday being September 7th or 8th of 2023, after she was extradited from Jamaica. At today's initial appearance, standing before the judge, the Honorable Zaya M. Faraguay ordered that she be held without bond pending her next hearing, which is scheduled for September 20th. High flight risk, they won't even set a bond. In the other case where the other woman who was extradited with this woman from Jamaica, in that other case, her bond was set at $3 million US. But this case, she has no bond. No bond means there's no way you can even post that money to come out because they're not letting you out. Her next date is scheduled for September 20th, which is about 10-11 days away, where she will stand before the judge again to hear what they have against her and where her case will go from here. This case was investigated by the U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Inspector General, the Department of Justice, Computer Criminal and Intellectual Property Section, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia. Those are three different entities coming together to work against you. The Justice Department's official Office of International Affairs provided valuable assistance in securing the arrest and the extradition of this woman out of Jamaica. The case is being processed by trial attorneys Louisa Becker and Ashley Pongello and Assistant U.S. Attorney Condi Kleinman for the District of Columbia. And that is all the information we have pertaining to her case and why she was extradited out of Jamaica to face charges in the United States of America. So what this seems like is she had a business going in the U.S., 36 years old now. She wasn't 36 at the time. She was a bit younger. This was 2016 to 2018, 1921 to 3. That's 5 years ago. So she was, 29, 30 years old when she allegedly defrauded all this money, $1.something million through those means that she did. Right. What it seems like is this wasn't even the PPP loan thing, because the PPP loan thing came out during COVID. And COVID wasn't 5-6 years ago. COVID was about 3 years ago, right? So people always have debt in the US, and people are always, because the US is ran on credit, and it's easy for people in the US to get into debt. You know, you have a credit card, it has a $10,000 limit on it. It's only a matter of time before you tell yourself, yeah, I could take a vacation to Jamaica. That's going to cost me about $3,000. I'll just put it on a credit card. I'll spend lightly and I'll pay it off when I come back. And the first time you do that, that's okay. Oh, I see this bedroom set that I like. That costs $2,000. I'll just put it on a credit card and then I'll pay it off. And then, oh, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. And before you know it, you maxed out your credit card. Now you have $10,000 in debt. A lot of people have been hit with this, right? Or hit themselves with this, rather, I should say. And then end up losing their job. And now they have no way of paying that money off. So you say, go get a job and pay it off. They get a job. The job doesn't pay as much as the job they had before. They're scraping to get by. That credit card debt does not disappear. Not unless you file for bankruptcy. Now, or Chapter 11 bankruptcy or whatever. Protect the rest of your assets. Throw away the debt. If you don't do that, that debt stays there. So people are always looking for these debt relief companies that might be able to save them. Some of these debt relief companies are actually real. They can actually have you pay a percentage. Say, for instance, you have $10,000 in debt. They can work something out with the debtors that they stop calling your phone. They will consolidate all your debts. Some people have debts on multiple different credit cards, 3-4 different credit cards, multiple different debts with different companies. What they do is they go around, they gather up all your debt that you owe everywhere to everybody, put it on the table. It amounts to $20,000. They say, okay, they work a deal out with the debtors that you pay a percentage of what you were owed. So that $20,000 now ends up being 10, 15. You say, whoo, I don't have to pay the whole 20, I'll pay 15. They work out a payment plan for you. Every month you pay $250 for however long it takes until you pay this off. And you start paying it like that. That's those debt relief companies that are real. In her case, she was promising people that she would guarantee them a grant. A grant is free money. And she said that allegedly that this free money would come from the government. So if you have a debt of about $10,000, she can get you a grant for about $15,000 to $20,000. And then you would use that grant to pay off your $10,000 debt and then pocket the next $5,000 to $10,000 that's left. All she is asking from you is a processing fee to get this done. So you can imagine how many people were excited, like, what? I can make money off my debt? Sign me up. How much do I need to pay you? Well, processing fee is $500. You got to send it by PayPal, Cash App, Western Union, or whatever. And those were the means listed in the court papers that she used to collect all that money. And they were able to trace about $1.1 million of the money. We don't know how much money it was altogether or where all the money went, but we do know that once she found out that the law was hot on her heels, Mrs. Sarika Gooding ran to Jamaica and she was hiding out in Jamaica. But the long arms of the law caught her and she was extradited back to the United States of America to face these charges. I'll be honest with you. I don't see her getting a lot of time behind this. She'll probably get about 5 to 10 years and she'll be out in 5 and get deported back to Jamaica if she is a Jamaican citizen, if she is not indeed a U.S. citizen. But however it goes, the message of the day is, live the life you love and love the life you live. But be ready to pay the consequences for living the life you love and loving the life you live. Nobody can tell you nothing. It's your life to live. I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.